Hey guys, it is Christmas Day, but by the time you see this video, it would have already been the new year. So, Happy New Year and welcome to the new decade. All right, so since technically at this current point in time, I'm still in the old decade, I figured a great way to end the year and even start the year is to share with you guys what I've learned about being successful in any field that you're in. But two things before we get into that. One, make sure you slap up that subscribe button, okay? Because I'm building an empire. I can't do it with a population of one. And two, even though it's Christmas, I actually have to go catch a flight. So we're gonna get to that first. I flew in last night and I guess I didn't realize how actually tired I'd be just from like a 2-hour flight. But then considering that it was Christmas Day and we had opened up presents earlier that morning, yeah, so here we are. If you guys don't know, I'm currently in Michigan. I'm actually visiting my big little cousin. He just graduated from med school and this is where he landed his residency. So I decided to pay him a little visit for the holidays. I'll be here for the week from now until the day after New Year's. While I'm here, I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of editing to do. Gold Friday is tomorrow, and quite frankly, I'm not really as far along as I'd like to be, simply because the week was just crazy, still having to go to work and then get ready and then making sure that I have all the footage and making sure that I didn't forget anything. And I did forget some stuff. I definitely forgot to pack my mouse, so I actually stole my cousin's mouse from his office so that I can edit just a little bit faster. Before I get into editing Gold Friday, what I wanted to do, like I said before, was share with you what I've learned over the years when it comes to being successful. The first thing that I've learned that I am still very much guilty of doing is comparing myself, right? Comparison kills. Now, the real reason that we are so caught up in comparing ourselves to others is because at the end of the day, we just want to be better. You have something that you're really passionate about and you just feel like you just suck so badly at it. And when you see other people doing it, you can't help but compare yourself because you want to be at that level. You want to be better at what it is that you're doing. So that's really the true reason why we compare ourselves to others. The best solution to deal with comparing yourself to others is honestly compare yourself to yourself. And I know that sometimes that's way easier said than done, and then you're only comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. I know that in practice that's actually kind of difficult. You know, you still can get caught up in comparing yourself to others. What I found to be helpful in comparing myself to myself is kind of measuring myself where I am today versus where I was, not necessarily yesterday, but like maybe just a few years ago. And I found that the best way to do that is check your Facebook memories. I know that sometimes when my Facebook memories comes up, I am looking through like my old posts. I kind of can't believe the things that I would like say, and I was just so moody and emo. Facebook memories is a really good way to measure yourself against yourself, because then at that point you actually have an actual gauging point to see how you've grown. Another reason why Facebook memories is also good when comparing yourself, you can see not only how you've grown, but you can also see how you haven't lived up to your own expectations. I know for me, I have so many old videos from like literally 10 years ago of me playing piano, and even though my technique wasn't the best, watching those videos, I'm like, oh, I was actually pretty good, and I was so hard on myself at the time, and I thought I just sucked. Had I just kept doing it, I would be so much better than what I am today. And because I can see that I'm not living up to my own expectations, one of the main things that I want to do for the new year is actually get better at playing piano. I finished editing my Goal Friday video. You guys can find the link to it up here. Make sure you watch it if you haven't already. While I'm here in Michigan, I still want to do some form of like exploring and sightseeing. So I actually just ordered an Uber and I'm headed over to the Henry Ford Museum and I'm gonna check that out for a bit. I am so tired. I haven't been to a museum in like a really long time. I think it's been like 10 years or something like that since I've been in a museum. So I think it was kind of cool to venture out the house and just see something different from my hometown. Overall, I had a good time. It's still pretty early in the day. I don't really know what I'm doing for the rest of the night. I brought my guitar with me, so I should probably definitely practice. I mean, even though I'm on vacation, I'm still trying to make this as productive as possible. And he's on my mind like all the time, yeah. I did not forget about the whole purpose of this video, and it's to share with you guys what I've learned over the years about being successful. The second thing that I've learned about being successful is to understand the concept that motivation is not enough. I'm gonna say it again. Motivation is not enough. Now, the reason I'm saying that motivation is not enough is because at the end of the day, motivation comes and goes. Motivation is not enough. Motivation is temporary. It will always be temporary, no matter what anybody says. You can go to like a seminar and there's a motivational speaker. Like, there's a reason why motivational speakers are successful. It's because motivation is not permanent. There will always be a need for motivation. And if you can understand that motivation is not enough, you are one step closer to being successful at anything you want to do. The solution to motivation is consistency. Consistency is king. You cannot get anywhere if you are not consistent with what it is that you want to do. Consistency is what you want to rely on. Consistency is going to be your best friend if you want to succeed at anything you put your mind to. At the end of the day, once you build a habit and you become consistent at it, it will just kick in like autopilot, whether you feel like doing it or don't feel like doing it. As soon as you build that consistency, it's just gonna happen. And before you know it, whatever it is that you put your mind to, whatever it is that you choose to do, you will see improvement no matter what. No matter how many bad days you think you have, you will see improvement because of consistency. So if there's anything that you take out of this particular video, is that motivation is not enough for the long run. Motivation is only short term. Consistency is long term. Look at this guy. It is New Year's Eve. It is currently, what time is it? It's 12:42. The ball dropped almost an hour ago. I basically have been chilling and I wanted to hop on and say Happy New Year, guys. Welcome to the decade. My cousin, me and him, we got in a little early this evening. He actually has to go to work at like around 3 a.m. So that's why it's a little super chill, but I'm okay with a chill New Year's Eve. Before I end this vlog, obviously I wanted to finish off with this last piece of advice when it comes to being successful in anything you want to do. With this new year coming, with this whole new decade coming, I wanted to give this last piece of advice for you guys. Now, this last piece of advice that I wanted to give you guys, as far as when it comes to being successful, I think is probably the most important, and if anything, it is the most difficult of the three that I've listed out. It's something that I've been trying to push on my social media. If you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, make sure you do. This final tip that I wanted to leave off with you guys when it comes to being successful at anything that you want to do is your mindset. Change your thinking, change your living. There's a little known thing in the clinical trial world, and it's called the placebo effect. I think most people have heard it, but if you haven't, I'll explain. Essentially, when they're testing out new treatments, right, they have a group A and a group B. Group A might be given the actual treatment or the drug that they're trying to test, and group B is basically given a sugar pill. Now, it's been shown clinically that group B will actually improve as if they've been given the actual treatment when they haven't. And the reason behind that is because they think they're being treated, so therefore they got better. Essentially, they manifested themselves into being better, and that is the placebo effect. That is the power of the mind, which is why mindset is the most important thing that you will need in order to be successful above the other two that I've listed previously. And in order to really grasp the full power of your mindset, you need to establish exactly what you want and why you want it. Go past the superficiality of things. Establish what you want and why do you want it, and make sure that that is the main thing that you are focused on. Manifest your dreams. It is fully possible. Another thing that can affect your mindset is the people that are around you. Are they supportive of your new mindset, or are they just going to drag you in the mud? It's very important to be mindful of those around you because they have a very big impact on how successful that you are, because you want like-minded people around you, or you want people that you strive to be like. In order to improve, you want to have the best around you. And I think for some people it's really hard to admit that, because you'll have to come to the conclusion that you might not really want to be around certain people anymore. And I'm not saying to cut people out, but maybe just limit the amount of time that you spend with them and be around the people that are going to push you to be better. Change your thinking, change your living. It is such a simple phrase, but it's actually so difficult. But once you get the hang of it, it'll be like this newfound power that you never knew existed. And it's all within the power of your mind. So with that said, Happy New Year's once again. Make sure y'all slap up that subscribe button. Yeah, that's really it. So that's all I got.